All right, ladies and gentlemen, traders, welcome back to another Relentless recap. If you're tuning in, guys, be sure to hit that thumbs up. If you're a new viewer, consider subscribing to the channel as you watch throughout the video. So today I'm going to talk about how I was able to make $7,700 day trading in just a few hours today. Now, it was a pretty decent week. I didn't upload my recaps this week. I kind of took off a little bit, but the recaps will be back in full fashion starting Monday. All right, guys. But I will show you guys my trader view stats for the week. That way you can see the full transparency, see everything that transpired. So before we talk about how we were able to make this sweet gain, and we'll also address the three common questions we get, which is, hey, how did you find these stocks? What patterns and setups were you looking for? And how were you looking to manage your risk? We're going to address those questions here. And we're going to also talk, before we get into it, let's talk about our disclaimer, all right? Guys, remember, first and foremost, I do not invest for my subscribers. So be careful with fake accounts and impersonators, people pretending to be me. I will never message you first. I will never message you randomly and start a conversation. I'm way too busy to be doing that stuff. Just keep that in mind, right? I'm only replying to students and very important emails and things like that. I'm not out there messaging everyone, checking to see how they're doing. If someone is messaging you randomly, it is a fake account. Remember, I will never ask for money or personal information. All right. Do not get scammed. Coming into day trading now, remember, day trading is risky. And if you're not consistently doing well, it's best if you approach the market with your risk being as low as possible. Meaning, utilize a small amount of cash, utilize the simulators to practice. All right. Other than that, remember the live streams and recaps are never an invitation to copy trade. Hit that thumbs up and let's talk about how we were able to make $7,500 today. So I found the stocks, of course, by using Momo Pro. This is the scanning software that I use. If you guys are interested in it, the link will be down below. Code Relentless for 25% off. Guys, Momo Pro, the discovery section, right? The discovery section is all the way down at the bottom. And this is essentially, a gap scanner, right? And I don't use, so I have my own personalized filter, right? But I really and truly don't even use this filter here in the morning. I use the no filter, which shows me everything in percentage order, right? It shows me everything in percentage order. It scans all the stocks throughout the entire stock market and comes down here, descending order, makes it easy for me, right? And usually in the morning, this is of course the end of the day, so we had so many stocks moved up, but in the morning it's pretty tight, right? But for the sake of this recap, I'm going to add my filters for volume and things like that just to make it tight. And of course, CRBP, Corbus Pharmaceuticals, was the stock today up 200%, right? I like stocks that are up a good amount of percentage, high in volume, shares outstanding, aka the float here, low, and high volume, high relative volume compared to previous days, right? So when you have a stock with just 4 million shares available to the public and 33 million shares traded, what does that do? That creates an imbalance either to the buy or sell side. Supply and demand, right? Economics 101, supply and demand. So I was hoping for an imbalance to the buy side, and that's exactly what we had. When we zoom out here on the 1 minute chart, guys, when we zoom out and we take a look at this thing, you'll see that we went all the in fact let's can we get a better zoom, there we go. We went all the way from about $8 up to 39, doing almost 400%. Now I usually start trading, of course, after the open, so I didn't trade pre-market, so I missed the initial push from 8 to 17. Pre-market, there's less liquidity, less volume. You can't use market orders. I prefer to trade the open, and so that's what I do, right? Now I have a 1 minute chart over here, but we'll use this side of the screen here for now. So I want to address the second question, which is, hey, Relentless, what patterns and edges were you looking to trade, right? And so just for reference, right, if I bring up the classes, right, if I bring up the day trading course that I have here, and I just put it over here, guys, this is all the known patterns and edges that we will trade, right? So from start to finish, right, we literally have it all here. The bull flag, the VWAP pullback, right, the W, the ABCDW, the 3 bar play, and so forth, the flat top break, right, the baby pullback, the cup and handle, and a lot of these patterns are famously known patterns. You'll find it in people who are trading large caps, options, small caps, penny stocks, OTC. But the way how we trade these patterns, it's a very hyper active way of trading. Instead of taking 5, 10 trades a day and holding for a few minutes or 15, 20 minutes at a time, we're in and out within seconds and we trade hundreds of times in a day. So if you like the hyper scalping style, that's what we teach here, right? And I'm just showing you guys the patterns and edges here for reference, right? The bear trap, and so forth, the panic flush, the halt trades, the half whole dollar breaks, high of day break. So those are the patterns that I'm looking for, right? And edges. Now, how was I looking to manage risk? Just in the first 10 minutes of the open, I made 2,000 and lost 2,000. Now, how did that happen? So we started off, and initially I was looking for our very first pattern, which is the opening surge. We come into the open and we want to see a break of the previous high. The previous high right here was 1752. Can we go from 1752 and have a nice big green candle, maybe up to 18? Boom, just like that, right? Something just like this. Boom, a nice rip, right? So we had a bit of a false push. It came up and not quite. So I got in and got out. I tried getting back in again. It didn't quite rip. Scratch trades. Now this is going to present the second entry, which is the baby pullback. Because at the time, this candle here was green, right? We went red and then came green, but then we ended red. So the baby pullback is when we have a dip, but there is no red candle, right? And so it's better depicted right here. We dip, but there's no red candle, but there's a dip, and then there's a rip, right? So we dipped, and then we ripped, but I fumbled the trades, guys. I fumbled the trades in here and right here. And so it wasn't until we got halted up. So we had a baby pullback here and a rip. And what got me was the gradual volume coming in. I was not aggressive enough to buy and hold. I needed to be long in here at 1745, and I was not. So let me just quickly show you guys today's archive, right? So we upload all the archives for the students every day. And so if I bring this back here, you guys will see over 1745 right here. I was not aggressive enough, right? So here we go. It's coming up. Hold on, let me take it back a bit. So yeah, here we go. It's coming up the left-hand side of the screen right here. There's 50. I should have been in right there, 45 area, and holding with a tight stop maybe towards 17, right? Maybe even 1720. So I played myself by not getting involved right there. If I'm in there with 1,000 shares at 45 and I'm risking, you see I bought there 75, it's a little higher, I'm not as comfortable, and I'm risking 30, 40 cents, I'm risking about 3, 400, but I'm looking for the retest of high of day, right? And notice here on the bids how it's not really coming back down. That was my problem here, is that I wasn't in low enough to be comfortable enough to hold it through the push, because it's a little slow here to separate. But once the separation comes, it pushes. I tried there for break of 18, and this is where holding longer in that key area for the 1 minute candle making a new high could have helped me. You can see right here, I'm still trying the other patterns and edges that will trade, okay, the half whole dollar. So I tried right here for break of 18. I'm in, and actually I had 500 shares. I thought I had 1,000. We pushed 1840. I'm looking to get out there in the spreads for gain. But you can see how quickly it comes back down, right? We didn't quite get that push all the way through. But in this area here, this is where I have to do a better job capitalizing on this type of trade. But all in all, pretty decent, right? But I missed the bulk of the move. And despite there being even sellers, this thing is going to rip all the way up here to 19 and over the whole dollar. Insane move. So I'm trying again there, but we're not going to quite get the push. There's a 19,000 share seller at 99. It's gonna go, and I'm not in. And right there, I'm like, are you kidding me, man? But all of this started from that 1 minute candle making the new high. So it's a little tricky going up. I don't get to properly capitalize. And so it's not until the resumption. So we get halted here. This brings us into our next pattern slash edge again, right? The the resumption. Here we go, the halt pattern, right? The halt, dip, and rip. So if we pull this up again, after 5 minutes time, we're gonna resume. And this thing actually resumed lower and the spreads were massive. So here we go, it's gonna resume. Oh, let's take it back a little bit. It's gonna resume and the spreads are gonna be massive. We're at 1927. Here's resumption coming up. 1720 by 18. There's a 80 cent spread. And I'm gonna say, you know what? I'm gonna take it. So I'm gonna jump in there right at 1750, right before the bids move higher. I already bought. I'm like, I'm gonna give this thing a shot. And you know what? The ask is gonna rip up higher. The bids move from 1750 to 1820. Boom. Just like that, my first decent trade finally took forever. So I'm gonna ease off a bit, and then I'm gonna size up for break of 19, I believe. I'm gonna try here again at 1850, and you can see I sold that particular trade just a little too soon. Hey, can we get above the whole dollar? Can we hold? I'm gonna sell that trade a little too soon and miss out some of the gains. So I'm gonna size up here. There's 18. Well, 19 is coming up, and I believe the halt level is gonna get extended if I remember correctly. We dip down a bit. I'm watching 1850. Hey, can we hold up? So right here, I'm in. That dip works. I'm gonna say, hey, let's size up for break of 19. Break of 19 is coming. I'm long at 19. Can we get the push through 19? There it is, 27, 49, and now 70. And I'm selling between 61 and 72. And there's 50 cents. There's $1,000. And I'm up 2K. Boom. What is it? The first 6 minutes. I guess we did have a halt, so we can say it's more like 10 minutes. But very quickly, I'm going to give back. And after this, I'm going to shut down the archive. I'll leave the rest of it for our students to review. And we'll be doing some reviews as well on Sunday. And that reminds me, I almost forgot. Guys, if you're in the classes, don't forget we're doing a meetup on Sunday at 3 p.m. All right. If you can't make it, it's okay. But, we're just going to introduce ourselves, get to put some faces to the names, and, build up the community a little bit more when it comes to the MMU members. I forgot to mention that at the beginning of the video. But anyhows, all the students are watching to this point anyway, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, I'm going to take my first loss there, buying this dip a little too high, a little too aggressively. So we had 1976. We dip right here to 1830s, and I thought that was good enough. So I'm in. I usually take smaller size on the dip. I took big size here, and this thing is not going to stop until 18. So I should have been right where I'm selling here is where I should have been buying. And this was frustrating for me because I would have been in at 13 or 18 right there, anywhere in the spreads on the bid or the ask. And look at the bounce all the way to 45. I missed it. And this was the beginning of me losing all the gains I just made, slowly bleeding out until I was like flat. And right here, I'm like, you know what? Hey, RT, don't be upset. Don't get frustrated. If this thing wants to give a red to green, you will be ready. You will be ready. And so said, so done. Over 1780. This thing finally curled up again. And we were ready to go. And so, it came down to us being disciplined, right? So even here, this was so frustrating, man. I was about to buy, and this thing just teleported. I'm literally about to, because I have no idea it's gonna go, but I'm about to buy right here at 70, 75 area. Right here, I'm gonna say, okay, let's get long. Break of 18. And I actually got the fill and this thing just teleports up to 1830. This is the beginning of the move. I buy back right here 25. Can we get the push? There it is. And we start to build back. So the red to green. This is now the red to green. You guys might say, Relentless, what's the risk on this trade here of in 2,500 shares? I thought I had a high fill on that particular trade, but I didn't. But this becomes, again, the break and hold of the whole dollar, and also the red to green over this bear flag. If we pull this up, if I'm long at 1820 like I am, I don't want to stop out below 18 right there. So what is this right here? It's a sideways consolidation. It's a sideways consolidation. Let me get my drawing tool. By the way, there's gonna be a, we'll announce this a little bit more next week, but there's a conference coming up in New York, and I'm gonna invite someone. There's a guy. There's well, hold up before I even say that. Let's say it like this. There's some people I think that I might invite to it, like a seminar. But other than that, we're gonna run another raffle. One of you guys who are students will win another trip to come hang out with Marcelo, myself, Crispy, and others. Right? So get ready. We'll announce that on Monday next week. But anyhows, consolidation, consolidation. Notice we held right here. We held right here. We didn't quite retest down here. So we held up there. And the moment we break over this level, there's a baby pullback, and then we start to see the surge. So again, if I'm in there, I'm not looking to risk more than 20 cents, 30 cents. If the spreads open up and it comes down and I do take a loss, then so be it. But other than that, I'm looking to nail this trade. I'm looking to take size on this trade. And there's the first entry. And I think it's gonna continue here. And I'm gonna get back in. 75. I take the dip. I take the dip aggressively. And hey, can we bounce? Short sellers right here are afraid. So this is what is the baby pullback. Because of how well we broke up above the red to green, I'm confident that as we come back in, and this is another setup here, right? So the baby pullback also coming into previous resistance. Can previous resistance become support? On the contrary, if I'm going short and the stock breaks down and then comes back up into this area, hey, can this previous area that was support, can this area now become resistance and us reject and go back down, right? So it's the opposite right here. Hey, this was resistance. Can this now become support? And boom. And that's exactly why I took this trade so aggressively. And this is the last trade I'll show. I got to be fair to the students here. And so, we're curling up. I'm in at 85. I take it off in there. I'm going to size back down a bit. I should have held that a little longer. I'm going to get back in again this time with just 1,000. And there's the move. So I'm in. I take 30 cents. I'm back in again. 40. Can we see the push? There it is. 70. But it's not the rip I would have wanted. I'll say that. So I'm going to try again. And this was a more aggressive trade because I'm kind of late to this. In fact, I should have just been holding from I should have been holding from 1780. I didn't need to sell, right? I didn't need to sell at all, right? But anyhow, so we got up to 3K and so forth, right? We repeat all the different patterns that we see throughout the day. Guys, I don't want to make it too long, so I'll end it here. We're already hitting 19 minutes. Hit that thumbs up. Consider subscribing to the channel. Remember, if you are an MMU student, we will be doing a bit of a virtual meetup in the Discord on Sunday after the Q&A at 3 p.m. market time. All right. So before I end it off, what I can do quickly is show you guys my trader view since I haven't been uploading recaps this week, just for transparency. Monday, the recaps will be back. Monday, I'll be back in full force. Marcelo has retired from the recaps, not myself. I'll still be doing the recaps every day. Let's see, import. After this, we are out of here. We gotta go 22nd onwards. In fact, I think I have the rest of the week calendar. I might just need from yesterday. Actually, yeah, I might just need from yesterday. So let's do the 25th onwards. It's been a decent week. It's been a decent week. Documents, save, import, documents. Let's find that file. There it is. Upload. And here you guys have it. Let's give it a couple seconds. And then we are out of here. So we still have to give it a sec. All right. Let's go to the week. Calendar. This has been the week. It's been a decent week. Definitely Friday is going to really bump us up a little bit. Before that, we were what, 2K, 3K, 3.5, 3.6 to now about 11, 12. Let's check the detailed section. Yeah, 11K. So yeah, that'll do it, guys. Be sure to hit that thumbs up. And of course, consider subscribing to the channel. It's been your favorite YouTuber, Relentless Trader. And I am, of course, signing out.